Dear man, I almost married. For the longest time, I didn't know what to call you. My ex sounded too simple. My almost husband sounded too dramatic. My biggest mistake felt a bit unfair. My greatest lesson sounded like something I put on a coffee mug. So I settled on this: the man I almost married. Almost. That's such a small word for something that once felt so certain. Because I really thought it was gonna be you. I had the whole thing pictured: the wedding, the house, Sunday mornings, holiday traditions, us arguing in Home Depot because somehow you believed every home project required a tool we didn't already own. I could see us getting old. I could see you irritating me at 75. And for some reason, that felt romantic. I wasn't wondering whether you propose. I was wondering when. That's how sure I was. My friends knew. My family knew. I had a Pinterest board, a private one. I wasn't crazy. I had dignity, but it existed. And then we ended. There should be a word for grieving a life that never happened, because that's what I mourned. It wasn't just you. I mourned the kitchen we never cooked in, the vacations we never took, the children we talked about but never met, the Christmas mornings, the anniversaries, the photographs that would never sit on anybody's mantle. I grieved memories we hadn't even made yet. And trying to explain it to somebody, they'd say, "Girl, you'll find somebody else." I know, that wasn't the point. I didn't want somebody else. I wanted the life I had already started living in my head. That's the dangerous thing about almost. Almost gives you enough to believe, enough love, enough history, enough good days and promises, enough glimpses of what could be, that you start treating possibility like a guarantee. We weren't terrible together. That's what made leaving so hard. If you'd been horrible, I could have packed a bag, blocked your number, played Mary J. Blige at an unreasonable volume, and called it healing. But you weren't horrible. You were funny. You were thoughtful. You knew how I liked my food. You could tell something was wrong by the way I said hello. You made me laugh when I was trying very hard to stay mad at you. And I loved you. Really loved you. But loving someone and being able to find a life with them, those aren't always the same thing. I wish somebody had told me that sooner, because I kept waiting for love to fix the things that love couldn't fix. The communication, the inconsistency, the things we kept promising we'd work on, the same argument wearing different clothes. We would talk, cry, apologize, promise, have 2 beautiful weeks, then somehow there we were again. Same argument, new Tuesday. I started measuring the health of our relationship by how long we could go without something going wrong. That's not peace. That's a countdown. But I didn't know that then. I thought relationships were supposed to be hard. Everybody says that, right? Relationships take work. So I worked. Baby, I clocked in. Overtime, weekends, holidays. I was employee of the month in a relationship that wasn't paying benefits. And the more exhausted I became, the more committed I became to making it work. Because if we broke up, what was all that work for? That's a hard question when you've invested years. Starting over felt like failure. I had to tell people. I had to change plans. I had to answer what happened, when sometimes I didn't even know how to explain it to myself. Nothing happened, and everything happened. We just reached the place where loving each other required one of us to keep becoming smaller, and that one was me. I didn't notice it at first. Compromise is so sneaky when you're in love. You tell yourself you're being understanding, flexible, patient, Then one day you look around and realize you've negotiated yourself right out of your own life. Things I once considered requirements became preferences. Things that hurt became something we're working through. Things I would have told my best friend to walk away from became things I was explaining on your behalf. That's when I knew. Actually, that's when I should have known. Knowing and accepting are cousins who don't always arrive at the same time. Acceptance took so much longer. I kept waiting for a sign. Something dramatic, something undeniable. I wanted the universe to send a certified letter. This man is not your husband. Please vacate the relationship. Instead, I got quiet, and that's all. One night, I looked at you, and I realized I was more afraid of marrying you than I was of losing you. That was my sign, because marriage wasn't going to fix us. A wedding wasn't going to make the conversations easier. And a ring sure wasn't going to turn inconsistency into security. And a beautiful wedding dress? That wasn't going to make me forget everything I'd been trying not to see. I loved you, but I didn't feel safe building my entire future on maybe it'll get better. So I left, and I hated myself for it. For a while. I wondered if I gave up too soon, if I expected too much, if another woman would have been more patient. That one haunted me, because when you're used to overgiving, choosing yourself can feel selfish. I had to learn that ending something that hurts you isn't failure. Sometimes staying would be. I don't know who you are now. Maybe you've changed. I hope you have. I've changed too. I don't need to make you the villain anymore. That's how I know that I've healed. You weren't some terrible man who ruined my life. You were a man I loved, who couldn't love me in the way I needed to build a life with him. And I was a woman who kept hoping love would make that difference disappear. We were both wrong. Maybe we were right for each other once, just not forever. That's difficult to admit, because I used to believe every great love story ended with two people staying together. Now I know better. Some great loves end with someone finally having the courage to leave. You taught me that I don't want a relationship I have to constantly recover from. I don't want to beg for communication. I don't want potential. I don't want to be loved deeply and understood poorly. I want partnership, consistency, friendship, safety. I want laughter in the kitchen, hard conversations that don't make me fear the relationship is ending. Someone who doesn't make commitment feel like a prize I'm trying to win. And when that love finds me, I won't compare him to you, because you aren't the standard anymore. I am. That's the gift I found after losing you. Me. The woman who finally knows that being chosen means very little if she has to abandon herself to stay chosen. So, thank you for the almost. Thank you for the memories we did make. Thank you for the future we imagined. And thank you for the one we didn't get. Because losing that future forced me to build another one. One where I'm still here, whole, hopeful, and surprisingly, still willing to love. I thought walking away from you meant giving up on my happily ever after. Turns out, I was finally giving myself a chance to have one. Love. The woman who almost became your wife and finally became herself. Some letters deserve postage. Others deserve a microphone. I'll read one last letter next time.